Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, your host, Thomas F. Chappell Jr. We were speaking before the break with our special guest, Christina Suter, and she was in part on speaking on what she was doing with her degree. So I want you to go ahead and finish on that.
Okay, so, well, just basically what happened was as I was getting my degree, as I was, I got my teacher's credential. I taught for a little while, realized I couldn't make the impact I wanted to make on kids' lives. So I really had to double back. I was going to get my degree in psychology. But at the same time, I started growing massively in my real estate portfolio. So here I am. I'm finishing my degree. I'm a business and master's in psychology. I'm running a very small business, and I'm investing in real estate. My small business was like $2,000 a month was the rent. And I couldn't always make the rent every month. But here I am selling an asset that had appreciated by almost $1 million.
Wow.
I know. I'm like, really? I didn't know that happened. I didn't know that was possible. I'm like, what the huh? And I went, do I have a problem with money? Well, if I had a problem with money, which my business would suggest I do, it doesn't seem to exist in real estate. Maybe I'm on the wrong boat. So I moved over to real estate because at that point I could within a short amount of time, I was able to professionally retire and become a full-time real estate investor.
Now, you have told a story in the past about helping saving your mother's house. Could you elaborate on that for me?
Helping save
my
mother's house.
Remember you so much you had...
my mom.
Yeah.
So when I was 17, so how I started in real estate is my story about my mom. So my mom, God bless her, she has passed away in 2014, but she was a complicated piece of work. We'll just call it that. But one of the things she did do is that she kept her faith in me. All the way through special ed schools, all the way through my educational struggles, all the way through high school, which was really freaking hard, really hard. She kept her faith in me. That was the one thing my mom did right, truly right. But when I was 17, she couldn't stay in the family home anymore because she had really bad asthma. She was 350 pounds, 400 pounds, 5'11". If you know the math, that's a pretty big lady. She couldn't handle staying in the house, so she left the house, and she offered it up to us three kids, and I literally just went, I'll take it. And so I rented it out to my aunt and uncle, and she got to move out just like Lily that week. And later, when I sold it, she wanted to buy back into another house. She's like, well, she gave me the house, so she's like, I want to buy back in. I'm like, I'll buy you a house. You gave me the money. Why don't I give you the money? And I bought a house, and honestly, that was the best decision because having your parents take care of your assets are the best renters in the world. Because my mom, she put pride of ownership into that house. She gave me the money, I gave it back to her, and then I bought the house for her, but it stayed in my name, and she had an amazing pride of ownership. And as tough as my mom was, she's part of why I'm successful.
That's good. See, that way, if you had never been successful, you and I would have never met.
Yes, it's a good thing we met, Thomas.
Exactly.
Tell me about, you didn't tell us a story about Mick.
Well, just to elaborate a little bit, Mick and I became close. Story goes into what my mother passing. Right before she passed, I don't recall her ever meeting him. And he told the story that my mother told him that she was dying of cancer. And he said that he told her, like everybody else, I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything can I do? And, most people just say that just being kind and whatnot. And she told him, she said, the only thing I want you to do is to love my son and look after him. And when he told the story, the way he told it, it sent chills through my son and my spine because, the way he said it, exactly how she would say it. So that built that kinship that it was a bond that couldn't be broken, and to be there for him. And I raised $3 million from him, things like that to do some deals. And for him to pass it, it hurted a little bit. So that's why I honored the show to the three that passed. And now I'm embarking on wanting to write a real estate book and to be able to honor all my mentors, especially him. That's what the book is going to be about, honoring the mentors that mentor me, that's got me where it is. And I asked you, and you said that you would love to be a part of it. So I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being able to do that for me.
You're
So
literally making me cry. I'm just saying. Like, literally, like I'm tearing up. Literally, just.
So,
thank you, Thomas.
I mean, I appreciate it. So I don't want it to be all about just me. You are my guest. So with your club.
It's only been about me, Thomas, this whole time. This is the only piece that has been about you. I'm just saying.
But the Phoebe Club, how did you get started with that? Because it has several different components to it. It's the Phoebe Orange County, the Phoebe Irvine, the Phoebe Long Beach, Phoebe Southgate, Phoebe Pasadena. So how did you get involved in that?
Jeremy Vole.
Okay.
Of course it's Jeremy, right? So when I became a full-time investor and I went, well, okay, hey, I have all this growing real estate assets, because I was investing in real estate when I was started at 17. So I bought a condo from I bought the house, I got the house from my mom, took care of that, sold that, got a condo from my brother. I think I bought the condo before I sold the house, so that was leveraged. So there's different things I did in real estate as I was growing my real estate portfolio. And when I told you my story, right? I'm like, all of a sudden I've got this asset, it's appreciated almost $1 million. I'm like, maybe I should get educated in this. I'm just thinking, I'm just saying, you know, after having because here I was. I mean, I was training myself to be a teacher and then maybe be a therapist, because now I know I didn't have to have a PhD, right? So maybe I could face getting a master's. Even my little dyslexic soul could work myself up to getting a master's, right? My LD teacher, who was an amazing advocate for me, told my parents I wasn't going to be able to go to college. So, but I got myself through college. I'm just letting you know. I did it anyways. So here I am getting my master's. And so, but I lost track of your question now.
How did you get into the club?
How did I get into the club business? So I thought maybe I should get educated. So I started taking some courses and I started going to clubs. Right? And I avoided the clubs that had a lot of sales in them. So Jeremy Vole was running a club. It was all economics, all deals. That's all he was doing. It was a small club. To me, it was a small club in that he kept it in a small room. He had a lot of chairs in a small room, but he had like 18, you know, those boardrooms that take like maybe 8 to 10 chairs around the table. I think he had like 20 chairs in that room almost every time. But I went, now this is valuable. The education I'm getting from going to this club that Jeremy Vole's running, which is part of the Phoebe brand, he's one of the founders of Phoebe, this is valuable to me as an investor. Not only am I getting educated, but I'm getting real-time information that allows me to be more successful. I wanted to run a club like him. I wanted to be like Jeremy Vole. I did. I wanted to be like Jeremy Vole. I really did. So Jeremy, if you're listening to this, now you know the truth. I wanted to be like Jeremy Vole. He was like an unofficial mentor to me, just going to that club the way he did. And I started my club in a very similar way. I started in 2011, I think is when I started my club. Right? So this was after the meltdown? Was that possible? Yeah, I think that's possible. So after the meltdown. And I started in a small boardroom with a lot of chairs. and I worked on, and Lily talked about economics every single time, because it was the biggest, most important effect in real estate investing was the economy that was going on at that time. I was losing $100,000, for a part of that downturn, I was literally losing $100,000 a month.
Wow.
A month in value on my assets. That freaked me out. I don't know about you, but that freaked me out.
Of course it would.
Right? And that freaked me out. But I started my club in 2011, and economics was all I focused on because I had learned the deep value. Education and networking. And real estate goes up and down on this much bigger tide called economics. And that's when I became a hobbyist in the economics. Right? But I started my club. It was a way of giving back. It was a way of staying educated. Selfishly, it's a way of getting people who are currently doing stuff in real estate and have them come talk to me by talking to all my Phoebe members. It keeps me educated. It keeps my Phoebe members educated. And I love the community that's gotten created. I get teased sometimes because I'm a pay it forward gal.
Okay.
That's every time I start my meeting, my focus is on networking and education. The way you treat your network is how you grow your net worth.
Okay.
Because paying it forward, being of integrity, being of your word, Looking for the win-win solution is how you can create a sustainable, long-term business model in real estate. Be a positive element inside of your community, and your community will always seek to give back to you. And my club gives to people. That's its intention. And I give back. So that's how I started my club.
Well, for those who don't know, this club is phenomenal. It's in Pasadena. She had started off at once a month on a Thursday.
Yep, originally.
And now she's gotten to where she's doing twice a month.
Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know her, she is the lady in white. She's always in white when she does her presentations and whatnot. So if I was to want to come to your club, and I've never been to a real estate club, what would be the reason why I should join your club?
Because the two core real estate, the two things you need in real estate is education and networking. Did I mention that yet?
Yes.
Let me say it again. The two things you need to be successful in real estate is education and networking. It is not money, guys.
Okay.
If you think money is your block.
We're going to stop her for a minute. We're going to go into our commercial break at this time. I thank you for joining into the Real Men of Real Estate. We'll be back.